Welcome to HR Success Talk, a global platform of over 150,000 HR professionals and business leaders, with a presence in 11 countries including India, the UAE, USA, Ghana, Saudi Arabia, the United Kingdom, and more. We believe in creating exceptional workplaces through collaboration, learning, and meaningful conversations that drive growth. HR Success Talk is built on a simple idea: growing together. Here, you grow professionally while helping others grow. Build connections for networking, career advancement, business collaborations, and mentorship. With more than 70,000 followers on Facebook, 29,000 on LinkedIn, 60,000 plus active website users, and 36 plus WhatsApp groups, we ensure you're always part of the conversation. Our events are designed to bring people together through both offline and virtual formats. Offline events include HR conferences, conclaves, roundtables, and workshops, designed for in-depth learning and face-to-face collaboration. Our virtual events include webinars, online HR meets, and talk shows, bringing accessible insights right to your screen. HRST Elite Club is an exclusive community of senior HR and business leaders from key cities. These are focused, closed-door sessions for strategic leadership exchange and real-world problem-solving. Through our Future Leaders Club, we prepare emerging professionals to take on leadership roles by offering mentorship, structured learning, and networking. With over 250 HR meets, strong media recognition, and a global volunteer network, HR Success Talk is helping shape the future of HR and business. Whether you're a leader, learner, student, or mentor, there's a place for you at HR Success Talk. To get involved, write to us at deept.karana@hrsuccesstalk.com or visit www.hrsuccesstalk.com.
Hello everyone, my name is Daya Prakash and I am the founder of Talent on Lease. Talent on Lease is an AI-powered tech hiring platform helping companies hire whichever way they wish to hire, whether they want to hire on their roles or they want to have hiring done on the contractual basis. That's where our platform helps them do it effectively in a very, very innovative way. But welcome once again to today's Voices That Matters edition 2. We are here today to discuss on a topic which is very, very close to my heart. The topic is AI adoption in the organizations and why the promise is bigger than the reality. And to have a discussion on this topic, I have a esteemed set of speakers with me who I wish to invite one by one to kind of come and introduce themselves before we begin the discussion. Let's have the round of introduction. May I now invite Ms. Meenakshi Jadhav.
Yeah, hi. Hello, everyone. Hello there, sir.
Hello, Meenakshi.
Hi.
Yeah, it'll be great if you can introduce yourself.
Thank you for inviting me. And it's an honor for me as well.
If you can share your introduction, brief about your company, little about your experience, Meenakshi, and that's my request to every speaker who comes on stage.
Okay, great. Yeah, sure. So my name is Meenakshi Jadhav, and I'm working with Transcorp International Limited, which is the financial service industry. So here I am heading HR as well as marketing department. Apart from this, I am also associated with Pro HR, that is the training institute. So as just a facilitator. So that's about me in a short. I am having around 20 plus years of experience into HR.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Meenakshi. Thank you so much. If I may invite Mr. Atul now.
Thank you, Daya sir. Good evening, everyone. My name is Atul Kumar Sharma. I come from the BPO ITS industry. The company's name is Teleperformance Global Services. We've been in the business for almost 40 years now. With the biggest BPO in the world, with over 550,000 employees and present in almost 100 countries. I've been associated with this industry for almost 21 and a half years. We can like roughly call it 21 for now. With Teleperformance, this is my 17th year. I started as a trainer. I worked with operations, direct front line, supply lines, assembly lines, a lot of subcontracting. I worked in quality assurance. I'm a Six Sigma Black Belt certified professional and currently doing my Master Black Belt. I moved to training, and now finally I'm doing recruitment, trying to solve something up, and of course juggling with a lot of AI and helping people understand as to what the current world is and where are we shaking hands with this AI.
Excellent, Atul. With your depth of experience and what you said, juggling with the AI is something that we are all excited to hear. That, right? So, pretty excited to hear your experiences around that, Professor GB.
Myself, Professor GB George. I am basically from an academic background, teaching MBA students for almost 15 plus years, and also into industry prior to that. And now I'm back in the industry, working as the director HR of Blastline India Group, wherein we are into surface preparation and industrial coating and industrial painting industry. So we have fabricating units where we make blasting machines, blasting horses, and allied services. We provide end-to-end solutions in surface preparation and industrial painting. So presently I'm based at Cochin, and this is about me. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, Professor GB. Ms. Preeti Agarwal.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Preeti Agarwal, working as an HR head in a manufacturing unit, SPF Infra Private Limited. I'm having 20 years of work experience in HR, and I also would like to mention that due to AI technology, we are also juggling because I'm working in manufacturing unit, so we are into so much trouble how we apply it. So definitely we will share the practical experience, and I would say my sincere thanks to Mr. Daya and the HR Success Talk team for organizing this wonderful event.
Preeti, this reminds me of my experience, my stint at LG between 2000 2013. Manufacturing world was that time that I happened to serve. But with your experiences today that you're going to share with us, I would really kind of catch up on what I've been missing since 2013, right? And what's happening around in that sector. But great to have you on this discussion,
Thank you,
this
sir.
panel
Thank you.
today. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Mr. Abdul. You're on mute, Mr. Abdul. So,
Yeah, sorry.
yeah.
Now I'm audible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Thank you to HR Success Talk for organizing this discussion and having me for this insightful discussion. So my name is Abdul Tayyab. Currently, I am serving as a group HR head at Captain Tractors, where I lead HR functions for all the group companies of Captain. I bring over 14 years of experience across manufacturing, automotive engineering, NBFC, retail, hospitality, and healthcare sector, with expertise in HR as strategy, organizational development. So, as someone who works closely with people and business leaders, I'm particularly interested in understanding how organization can leverage AI, not just as a technology initiative, but as a business and people transformation journey. So I'm looking forward for sharing my perspective and learning from the esteemed panelists and audience today. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Abdul, same is the intent actually. All of us here are kind of excited to learn from each other's experience because they say that to kind of experience something and learn takes time, but when you're in such a group and such gathering and then you hear people talk about their experiences, you don't have to necessarily go through that. You kind of expedite your whole learning journey, but really looking forward to your participation and learning from your experience as well. Just quickly checking if John G is also able to join. Okay, looks like okay.
Good day, everyone. My name is John. I'm part of an Indian conglomerate based in Ahmedabad called Chiripal Group. It's a 53-year-old company which started off in textile and later diversified into flexible packaging, renewable energy, NBSC, chemicals, as well as an education wing as well. I worked in various industries. Started off with IT, ITES, automotive, manufacturing, consumer durables, renewable energy. Then have been into consulting as well, and now I'm here. Um, as Abdullah have said, and many others have also contributed. Okay, it's a very important topic where both industry and many people are grappling with. So it's my pleasure to share and learn over here. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think thank you so much for that introduction. We now at least are 100% sure the kind of diversity that we have in this panel and the kind of the experience that we bring to the table. And this discussion is going to be quite enriching, I can tell you in the beginning itself. But really looking forward to kind of moving to the next leg and asking each one of you to kind of share your experiences around the AI journey. And as we discuss in the topic, that this AI, we are talking about what the AI has to promise versus the reality. I think when we were having this discussion conversation couple of months back, maybe last year around sometime, we were still realizing that there was a mix of kind of panelists that we had. Some of them they said that we are still exploring. Some of them said that we explored it and we figured it out, and there was a huge wide variety of it. But of late, what we have realized that it's hard to kind of find an organization today which does not have any experience around AI adoption. People have realized that what business challenges and problems that we face. There lies a solution in terms of AI. Obviously, the discussion that we are going to have will evolve and will also tell us to what an extent we have reached the maturity curve. But let's just begin with the first step first. So maybe I would request each one of you, and I'll just call the name, but each one of you, if you can experience some business scenarios where you've implemented AI or you've adopted AI. And let's start with Atul, maybe with you first, that you can share your experiences, right?
Thank you, Dayaji. See, I would start with, and this is not a negative approach. It's a very, very practical approach. I think this is the same. This was the same issue when we started with the internet era. I would say, like when we started with the internet era, we all wanted as humans to put more money into the technology. Like everybody was dumping in money into the technology. The issue that happened at that point in time also, like we were kids and like we were studying at that point in time, like in college and all, the issue that happened at that point in time was that we did not design, like the businesses did not design their structure around the technology. They were dumping money into the technology, and that is what I think is happening in today's world as well. Like you cannot live without it. That is a short goal. Like you cannot live without an AI. That is a short goal. But by when, what, and what will be the glide path of it from an achievement standpoint? Like, will it again be a bubble like an internet era, and it will take like 20 years to seep in? I don't know it yet. The experiential examples I would tell you, and before I jump to experiential examples, I tell you that the AI specifically is, if we get to the structure of it as to how does this AI operate practically, it operates on GPUs, and the GPUs are operated on power, and it needs power and electricity and space and etc. and a lot of stuff. And this is coming from a lot of AI summits that are happening across world, across India, that I have like not been or was a party to virtually or physically. The only thing everybody is discussing is that yes, it is possible, it has to be there. but do we have that enough power on the earth to source the AI world that we are imagining today? And by when will we be able to shape that world with an AI? And then how and when will that entire repetitive work will be taken care of by AI, and we as humans do some more intelligent work? Everybody is thinking about it, but the question still is hanging around in the air: by when, where, what? Like, who will source that energy? Where will that energy come from? Who will place those data centers? Where will the data centers be placed? In space, not in space? Will that energy come from solar power? Whatever that those discussions are still on. Regardless, those discussions are on. We have dumped in like billions and billions and trillions of dollars in the technology, and we are trying to shift everything to AI. And I still think that the businesses have not developed that wing and not have very thoughtful of designing that business around the AI, and they've dumped in more money. That's what I think is the starting statement. But primarily from an experiential standpoint, I'd say that with the world moving into, I would not say a conservative to their languages, but I would say that everybody is like in a way of preserving their own cultures, their own language, and the language preservation has gone to the peak at this point in time, is what I think of, because I come from an industry which is generally about talking customer satisfaction. It is more about talking what all business impact can we give, etc. And this includes languages as well. We serve approximately 120, 130 languages across world. Now, when we were transitioning into the AI model of language, specifically, I would say, to any Austroasian languages or to any difficult languages like a Togo or a Bahamese Indonesian, the practicality of how the local dialects work and the subjectivity works in language versus the AI translations that are happening in my customer service industry are way too different. We've been able to tap languages like all European languages, I would say, for that matter, Spanish, German, Catalan. We are able to tap that over because it has a huge database. Not that the other languages don't have a database, but the work started from English, and definitely it had an upper hand, and then it flew to more of the European languages. So one issue that I faced specifically, and this will develop over a period of time, it's just a matter of time and subjectivity will come into place, is only the Austroasian languages are very difficult languages where the proper slangs or the emotions of the customers or the emotions of the businesses through the other side of the line in any format, either a chat, email, or a phone, are not understood very well. And this is what I think is going to shape my industry specifically in the near future. And we are investing a lot of it. We are working on a tool called Sanas, and we are developing this wing over. We've been posted on Economic Times about it, that this is like one of the best tools ever that has come in terms of the language neutralization. So once on one side of the line, we are talking in a generic Hinglish kind of a language like we are speaking right now, like speaking English, but even if I include some Hindi words here, it would real time translate into whatever format I like to translate it into, an American English or an American accent or a or any Irish accent. British cannot be an accent. We generally call it an accent, but that's English. And it translates it to that original form. And then the other side of the line hears it real time. It at the same time corrects the grammatical mistakes also that we do. So that is a very, very basic AI structure that we are currently into. When we will go forward with this journey, what I think is all basic information that is being done by humans will be completely taken care of by the AI. May it be talking to a customer, may it be giving easy resolutions. For example, in a travel, giving them the ticket information, changing the name, changing their schedule, giving them refunds, etc., will all be taken care of by the AI. And what we will do is we will find a better way wherein we say a yes or a no, or we will be the judges of the AI and will be the governing party out there, is what I think, over a period of time. But this is the example that I wanted to quote from my industry. It's going well, but it'll take time, is what I feel. Still, like, I think 4 to 5 years, and there's no benchmarking to this number, but I still feel 4 to 5 years is a good enough time for that AI to seep in completely, at least into the languages.
Yeah, but it is great to know, Atul, that it has either AI is playing an integral role in what you're doing. Either the how it is transforming and redefining the service levels within the service sectors, the deep service sectors that you're talking about, right? So this is fantastic to know.
And it is happening across all domains. It's not just the the operations where it is implemented. It is there in HR, trying hands on HR, and HR, I think it is like now it's everywhere, it's very common. But with all
Right.
departments, it's happening, and slowly and steadily it will seep in. All repetitive works will go away.
Excellent, excellent. Meenakshi, if we could have your views also on the AI adoption journey. Thank you so much, Atul.
Sure, sure. So, like, I 100% align with Mr. Atul, what he has shared his experience based on the AI. So, I will also highlight few things like earlier, maybe in my 15, 20 years ago. So, the SAP or the Excel was most powerful tool to use, because I know when I was working into the retail sector, so they used to say that if you are well versed with the SAP, and you know how the SAP is handled, you will definitely get the good opportunity in the market. So that was just the example, and even the Excel till the recent years. So we have seen that the people who are expert in Excel or advanced Excel, so we were or whoever was handling that task was more important, considering he used to prepare in just a minutes because he was well aware about the formulas. So similar to that, I'm just copying the same thing. Like, okay, that's how the AI is also helping us to build that kind of structure. So in my organization, I can give you a small example. Like, we are into the financial services, so we are governed by RBI, and there are so many risk assessment needs to be done at our end. So earlier it was just a manual task. There were a team who used to evaluate the risk assessment, but still the error was there. Right now, we have also implemented one of the tool which was developed in-house. So that has actually helped us to find out the risk at the early stage. It's like maybe 4 or 5 years ago we were just struggling, maybe after the risk would have happened, but now we are at the preventive stage. So this is a small change which we have seen. Yes, I will definitely not say that we are 100% sure about the whatever has done, but yes, I would say like, okay, maybe 60% we have already achieved the target what we were expecting for. So that's how the AI is helping us in either way. I will definitely not say that it is 100% going to reduce my entire task, because obviously at the end the human intervention is required. But the basic task what we have implemented in our system is definitely helping us.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And that's what the topic is all about. The promises versus the reality, and then there is a long way to go. We all know that. But the good part is that I think what we're doing is we're doing a business alignment versus a technology adoption, pure play technology adoption. But that's great to know so far. Thank you so much, Meenakshi. With that, I invite Professor GB to share his experience around AI adoption.
Yeah, thanks again, Adyasa. I think I would like to comment on, like, before getting into this transition from the internet era to the AI era, I would like to tell about the transition of my own experience as a supplier of candidates to various companies, like a director of placements in a B school to director in recruiting people. So that time we were always thinking like the recruiters who are coming from the different corporates, so the companies, it is very easy for them to just pick the candidates from one of the colleges and fill their openings and then finish it. That's it. Okay. So we normally consider them as a very privileged lot. So we will be struggling, like the placement officers will be struggling to place our students, because at the end of the day, placing the students was the major task which was ahead of us. So now once I got into this recruitment, then I come to know like getting the correct person, the correct candidate is not an easy task. So when I connected with that AI era, what I can learn is like, or my experience tells that the skills are replacing the traditional job titles. So basically in AI era, what is happening, what we are seeing is like the skills are replacing the job titles. Earlier, if we say, for example, we have traditional job titles like sales executive or business development manager or CRM person, something like that, But now in an organization, if we are actually placing that particular with that placing that designation and sending a JD and job ad, we may get hundreds of resumes. But to align to that to a correct person, the right candidate, we need to really see the skills. In that particular skills, not his not his degree or the skills which he had gathered from the campuses may be enough. He need to or she need to really adapt the skills which are needed or aligned to the AI era which we are facing these days. So what I am actually doing in my organization is like we are trying to do our searching internally, like than trying to gather people from outside. We are exploring talents within the organization where we can teach them, train them, and make them acquire new skills and get involved into the new roles which we are planning. So this is a journey which we have just started. We are not a expert in the AI era. So we are learning, and in the process we are making mistakes. But again, the training is worth it. And one day we hope that we will be getting into that level. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. If I may invite Ms. Preeti Agrawal.
Thank you, Mr. Daya. From my 20 years in HR, especially in manufacturing, I have learned that technology also doesn't create business results. People do, actually. The biggest challenge is not technology, it's a mindset and readiness for change. In many organizations, still, I have worked 20 years with multiple industries, right? So if I talk about the manufacturing organizations, people are comfortable with the manual process, Excel sheets, and even paper-based documentation. There is often a belief that if the current system works, why change it? So AI, like in my experience, the biggest barriers are fear of jobless, lack of AI skills, struggling to change poor quality data, and unclear business objectives, right? So AI is transformative, just like electricity or the internet. And I want to add here one more line, that people thinks AI is here to eliminate the job, but AI is here to elevate the skills only. So we have to understand that leaderships often view digital tools and AI as a cost rather than as an investment. As a result, decisions took longer, data was difficult to access, and productivity improvements were limited. So AI's promise is to use higher productivity, faster decisions, better employee experience, and cost savings. The reality, however, is that many organizations are finding adoption. So what I'm doing here as an adoption that AI can implement in my organization, so translating AI into practical value, right? For example, you are not talking about AI in theory, so you are connecting it to real factory challenges like paperwork, manual reporting, and slow processes. Again, I'm doing another thing, that managing mindset change. We are giving, like, you are helping people move from this is risky, not needed, to this can make my work easier, then faster. So the solution is to start small and practical, focus on one business problem, providing AI trainings, involve employees early, create AI champion within teams, measure outcomes clearly. AI should be not feel like poison. It's a tool that arguments people, not replace them. So this is in my experience, and I'm facing the challenges in the current organization, and had the experience with the past organization as well.
So I think very important things that you brought in terms of the basic hygiene factor, which is the data. Actually, we're talking about AI, but I think a lot of us are still struggling to get that data right, so that the models could be trained accordingly, and the outcome that we expect AI to deliver is only possible if the data is in place, and these challenges are big challenges, right? So I think.
Yes.
A lot of silos within the organizations that operates, and then they kind of transmit data, interoperate data, and the data doesn't talk to each other, right? Doesn't understand whether it is the same data, it's different data. But that's a great dimension that you brought in. But
And
yet,
it will be not implemented, Mr. Daya, until the organizations not teach to the employees or not tell to the employees that it is not an investment, it is in a future of the organization as well as for you as well.
absolutely. I think another aspect that you brought in, and we will come to the larger
Yes.
maybe audience, or maybe all the speakers, we will cover them. on the aspect of its, AI adoption. AI is not just a technology implementation. It's about, people. It's about processes. AI alone cannot do wonders. But yes, if you have people, processes aligned to it, you can perhaps expect the outcomes that you expect, very close to what you expect, right? But great perspective. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, John Ji. If we can have your experience also around AI adoption. Uh, Mr. John, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. One from a current organization, Shripal. As I told, we are in diversified industries. So, by primarily into manufacturing. If you see that one of the industry which is into renewables, especially solar, has been able to adopt AI much faster. Okay, so they are into robotics, and the robotics can identify the kind of manufacturing defects, the quality work, etc., and all that. So in the production process, it's only the input of items where you have people who are actually humans who are actually doing the work, and then it's in the packaging. In the middle, you have very less human intervention. Okay. At the same time, for the rest of the other industries, if I see, the adoption of AI is not there at all. Okay. So giving another example where being a qualified independent director, I'm on a director of a few companies. So one such company is a logistics startup. So a year back when the CEO wanted a logistics system to be implemented, I was very firm that it also needs to have some kind of AI enablement. The reason also I'll tell you after this. So being a startup, they didn't have the cash, but then since I was firm, I was able to push them to get an AI enabled system. So now what happened because of that? Being a startup, like say the CEO used to work up to 2 a.m. Okay. So, but then after this thing came, the CEO was able to get free even by 10:30 itself. Okay. Because AI was managing the rest of stuff. Okay. Next, okay, he was only doing logistics for certain private companies. But then because of this AI, okay, he was able to showcase himself, which helped him to get a government tender as well. Now he's into government as well, government orders as well. Next thing, now since he's got free time also, he's able to venture for new ventures as well into new businesses also he's able to look into. So this is something for as a CEO. Now, if you look at the people below, for them also you can say that like it's really helped them. Like what is the downtime notification, they get it immediately, and based on that notification, what has to be done, that input is also given. What is the status of the fuel? What is the engine efficiency? How is the driving skills? Is any kind of training has to be? All this data is coming out of from there. So these are the two different extremes which I would say where AI has helped out. But at the same time, what I have also observed, okay, is that AI adoption is on two aspects. One is industry specific, second also on the region. Okay. When I say industry specific, okay, certain industries which are highly technology driven are able to adopt it faster. Like you say IT, ITES, all these. But whereas manufacturing, even in manufacturing, you say automotive companies are able to adopt it faster as compared to the other ones. And basically the reason is if you're able to get that money out of your customer, okay, then you can take it. If the customer is not going to pay for your AI, okay, no use to you, nobody's going to invest in that. That is simple. Okay. So at the end of the day, customer is king, and that is where it drives. Second, when I talk about region, even 2 years back, when I used to talk to my counterparts in US, okay, what we are doing right now, they were doing 2 years back. Okay. Same thing if I look at Middle East. Middle East is still far behind us as compared to where we are. Okay, so based on region and the way the respective region requires, okay, also, so basically everything is driven by customer, okay, and also the market requirements. So I would say that another major hurdle for AI is also the people capability. Okay, how many of us are actually ready right now to take AI? Even if you look within your company, okay, maybe 20%. If you look at IT, maybe the technology-driven companies, maybe it might be higher, 40 to 45%. For others, it is just 10 to 20%. So people capability plays a very important role in this. If suppose we compare ourselves with our children, they are more tech savvy compared to us. I don't know what is there in my mobile, but my daughter knows much better than me. Okay, she knows what app I can use much better than me. Okay, so but the only the thought which comes to me right now is, okay, if after 10 years, okay, if suppose I have some kind of issue, okay, I am able to manage that because of my temperament, because my mental stability, my emotional stability, okay. But the children who are there right now, okay, do they have that kind of capability to manage? That is where the difference comes up. Okay, so there is something called AI. The other thing is AGI, artificial general intelligence also. Okay, AI is something which we see as a big threat for us, but AGI is even more bigger threat. Companies like Google, etc., are investing big on that. Okay, and AGI is something which works, which we say right now. Okay, so AI can only do certain mathematical things, etc., and all that, but the humanity, okay, how we are supposed, the empathy, which as humans we bring, okay, that they cannot bring. So that is where the gap, AGI is trying to bridge that gap. Okay, but that being said, what I will say is that change is something which there's always going to be resistance. Okay, and AI is something which has brought a drastic change in a very short span of time compared to any other revolution that's happened earlier. Okay, so for us, any change that comes for us, we need to adopt and adapt. Okay, so the speed at which we adopt and adapt is what matters for each company, for them to go and win the race. So I would stop at that and say that, like, of course, humans cannot be replaced. We are going to be there, okay, but we need to adopt and adapt. And the speed at which we adapt and adapt is what is going to help us out. Thank you.
No, excellent perspective. Excellent perspective. And there are some of the dimensions that you spoke about in terms of bringing in the efficiencies, bringing up the productivity, and then the regional, the context that you had shared and everything. I think we will come back to some of those during the discussion further.
Sure.
But staying in the same context and maybe on the same question, let's just hear from Mr. Abdul also his experience around AI adoption, and then perhaps let's open up the discussion on various dimensions that have come up during the course of this discussion so far. But Mr. Abdul. You seems to be on mute, Abdul. You not on mute, but you're not audible also. Not able to hear you. So I think there is some technical challenge that Abdul is facing, and while he fixes or gets his issue fixed, maybe Vidushi, is it possible to have everyone on the frame so that we can perhaps get into a conversation mode? That's excellent. That's excellent. Yeah, I think a lot of dimensions have come up during the discussion, and okay. Yeah, Abdul, if you're. Are you able to hear us? Okay. So do let me know once the issue is fixed, Mr. Abdul. In the meantime, let's have the conversation around, I think some of the discussions that came up or the pointers that came up, one of the pointers that recently that, when John was talking about, he was talking about the regional, aspect of it, the AI adoption, and the maturity curve of the AI adoption with regards to region. So anybody in this forum or in this group who would like to share, and maybe Atul, you have the experiences around different geographies and your take on that. This is a well-known fact that the advancements made in the Western world versus how it follows the through the world. But what's your take around why this happens, and is there a specific region? There is something that we can perhaps learn, do to make sure that the future we have got equal chances, I would say.
Mr. Day, I don't think that this is about equal chances. Okay, I would quote it with a similar kind of relationship and a much hyped word in the HR market, which is DNI. And it is not important for you to DNI if your business doesn't demand. Just because of a FOMO, you don't have to do DNI, because it is not at the end of the day, at the end of the day, resulting in a business impact. At the end of the day, we are here to do a business which is judged by a 6 or a 7 letter word called EBITDA. And if it is not there, then it doesn't make sense. So you do DNI and then you promote whatever. Similarly is a case with AI. Not all industries need AI. Some of the industries do need AI and they are doing AI in the right format. Some of them are just doing it because it is a word of FOMO. They think that they are missing out on something which is really important, and it probably may not be that important for them. And they're investing heavily into it, as I always say. They feel that they will also miss it out, like a blockchain or a .com bubble, whatever happened at that era, and then they don't want to miss it out. And this is the way the world is going to lead. That is not how it is. I tell you, regardless of whatever AI has got into the picture, some of the traditional businesses, if I were to say, as simple, common, and plain as the grocery shops, have stayed the same for past 100 years. Even today, they have not changed. The shop counters have changed, the way they are computing has changed, but the way a customer is shopping and the way it looks from outside has kind of stayed the same. The change has been made to the e-commerce platform, which is a completely different vertical altogether. It has nothing to do with the traditional shopping. The traditional shopping did not change. And that is what it is. The problem that I foresee with a lot of organizations getting into this FOMO is two specifically. One, that their legacy or the traditional or the tribal processes, whatever we call it as, are still existing. And they want to just overlap or tape it up with an AI. That doesn't happen and that doesn't work well, because it will not yield into a productivity gain, which you will or would have promised in big board meetings or forums that once I adopt this AI, I will get into a 10% of measurable output, whatever that measurable output is. Attrition, shrinkage, money, COGS, whatever it may be. Now, we're not getting into that discussion at all, because our current legacy processes still stay. And that is what I started my entire conversation on, that we did not build the business around AI. We just adopted AI and then trying to maneuver or make the business around it. That is not how it should be technically done. It is like make a mistake, then learn, then make a mistake and then learn again, and then make changes to the overall processes. That is not how it should be. We should have understood the in-scoping, out-scoping of that entire tool or process altogether, and what is the extent and till where can it go, and then work it accordingly. Now, that legacy process is one part of it. Second part of it is because now work has moved faster. I'm taking a very simple example of emails. Now, we all came from a generation wherein we used to type emails and then look at those emails like 5 times. Now we all know that we're just copy pasting that emails and it is giving me an output and it is saving my time. But where am I utilizing the rest of the time at? Like, do we have a benchmark to that as to where is those rest of the 2 hours or 3 hours that I've saved through AI going? So technically the company has not benefited out of it, because they're still paying the equal amount of salary to me as they were yesterday. And similar is the case when it goes to the masses. So that is what it is. Repetitive work has reduced and it has helped us also. But what eventually has it, what is the eventual outcome of this overall exercise? Is it saving money? So the organizations which were built on the platform of AI, like a Claude or OpenAI, they are the ones who knows it the best because they were built on it. This is very similar, and that is where I conclude. This is very similar to, and I'm just taking example of Mahindra. A lot of companies are building their cars, their EV cars, because that is the need of the hour. They are building on the existing chassis, whatever is available in the market. But Mahindra did not do that. They made a separate EV vertical and they made a separate EV chassis and their entire separate vertical to it. So that because they knew that these two are not talking to each other, we need to invest separately into it. And then once this is done, then we change our or make a common assembly line later on, probably whatever they may be thinking of it.
Sure.
But for now, they have separated it. And that is what industries need to do. Separate an AI function and do the manual function separately. And then try to find a mutual bridge and see by when can we take over that bridge, like from a human to an AI and AI to human. That is how
I think it's a great point, Atul, that you need a different mindset to kind of think from the technology point of view. Or we talking about, I think John was talking about his daughter, and he was talking about the way these kids would actually adopt technology, or even it's not even adoption of the technology. They're born with these technologies. Actually, the way they think, they behave, they act is something that we will have to think of it and then do it, versus they just do it. Because they're born like that.
John had yes. And Mr. John had a very valid point on that. This is only happening till the time that AI doesn't generate a new AI. When that era will come, that is the time when they would have to think as to what humans will do. This is a very peaceful era.
But one point that you brought up, Atul, is that the ROI thing, and I'm not sure because one thing I got to know from this discussion, unfortunately, have not been able to hear Mr. Abdul's view on it yet, but more or less, I think everybody is kind of on the AI adoption journey, and in advanced stages.
It's available now. Mr. Abdul is available now. His mic problems got sorted out.
Okay. So Mr. Abdul, if we can have your inputs also around the topic, and then I'll come to a very specific question which anybody can answer. But the point that Atul has brought up, which is the ROI, right? And I would like to know from this forum that how many of you have that clear mechanism in place where there is this not just AI adoption for the sake of it, but there is a clear ROI measurement that you do. But maybe let's hear Mr. Abdul first.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry for this technical glitch. So I am from automobile industry. I am from manufacturing. Basically, we are a tractor manufacturing company, and there are few group companies who are into this engineering, this gearless elevator manufacturing company. So basically, AI adoption in our group company. If I talk about very practical thing, so we have. Right now, we are at the urge of developing our own AI in the company. So we are training this AI, like what is Captain. Okay. So I believe organizations are investing in AI tools faster than they are transforming their processes and people. Okay. So technology alone cannot create value. Value is created when people, processes, and technologies work together. Okay. So many organizations have purchased AI solution but not invested enough in change management, capability building, and business integrations. Okay. So right now, हम जितने भी processes कर रहे हैं, like we have kept leaders KRA KPI, AI adoption in their department. Okay. What AI adoption they will do in this year or in this quarter. Okay. So we will measure their performance based on the AI adoption, because through AI adoption, we will have a faster decision making, improved employee productivity, better customer experiences, reduce administrative workload, improved knowledge accessibility. So if I give you a small example, we have telecallers team in backend. Okay, so we have pan India business. So generally we get the leads of customer from different region of the India, and our customer is farmer. Okay, so they speak in their regional language. So we cannot keep all the regional languages telecaller team. Okay, so we have AI based telecalling solution where if Marathi people call तो वो telecalling Marathi में जवाब देगा, कन्नड़ा में जवाब देगा, Tamil में जवाब देगा, English में देगा. So they have multiple language options in telecalling. So through that we have minimized the cost of recruitment of telecallers. Okay, we initially got this lead from filtered through this AI solutions, and then we give these leads to our respective field team of the regional field teams. Okay, so this is one example. Then we are using AI in our branding department. Like we have created so many content, video content. We have also created our company anthem song by using AI, and we got award at national level for this company anthem song, which was totally created through AI. We didn't pay a single penny for this anthem song. Earlier, we used to pay minimum 5 to 10 lakhs
Right.
for this anthem song. Okay.
Right.
So there are so many examples of different department, but in this year will be AI driven year for Captain. So we have kept KRA KPI to each and every leader, like AI adoption in their department. So by that we will drive AI throughout the organization.
No, excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. So and thank you. Finally, the technology did work. That we were able to hear all this experience that you shared, and this is wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And anybody wish to take this question, saying that and help us all understand your organizations, how the ROI part is measured. If at all.
Yes, Mr. Daya, I want to add the point some here. Like Mr. Abdul has mentioned, he is from manufacturing. So I'm also currently working with manufacturing unit. So measuring AI ROI is difficult because AI rarely behaves like in a traditional, like if we say plug in, output, revenue, investment, it sits inside processes, people, and decisions. So the value gets delayed, and distributed. And manufacturing measuring AI ROI is difficult because AI doesn't create output directly. It prevents losses, improve process across the whole systems. But in more mature organizations, the pattern is different. If we talk about, like, they start with a clear business consistent, customer response times are too slow, recruitment cycles are too long, operational costs are rising, sales conversation is leaking, employees are spending too much time on repetitive work. So in those cases, AI is not the starting point, is this enabler, and those implementations like tend to survive inspections because they are try to measurable outcomes. Time saving is the easiest with like demonstrative, I can say, we can add it. In manufacturing unit, basically what we face is the like drafting email faster, automating HR screening, reducing report generation times. Time saving is the easiest with the demonstrative. So but time save doesn't automatically equal revenue, and that link only happens when leadership does something critical, like they convert productivity gain into capital gain that is reinvested into revenue driving activity. For example, if a sales team saves 20% of admin time but keeps headcount and increase customer outreach, revenue may raise. If HR reduce screening time but still hires the same way without improving quality, efficiency improves, revenue impact is indirect. So basically, in if we talk about finance also, like we take the example of if finance automates reporting but decision making doesn't improve, so no real business mind. Where AI does increase revenue, you typically see one of these mechanisms.
No, I think great inputs, great inputs. Anybody would like to share more thoughts? Maybe because we are just 1 minute away from closing of this session, and I don't want to kind of overrun this session. We started 2 to 3 minutes late, so maybe I'm fine with 1 or 2 minutes extra on the session, but not maybe more than that. But if there is any input or comment from anyone's side, just raise hand and please come forward. Okay, maybe not. So I think what I learned in today's session is basically a kind of teaser from each one of you as to what kind of journey you are in your respective organization or industry. But if we were to kind of know from each one of you, add greater details as to how can we bridge, let's say, this gap of what AI has to promise versus the reality. I think it is going to take at easily one day each with each one of you to kind of get to know that and understand what your plans are and on which plans you're working forward. But again, I think what I started with saying that a couple of months back the discussion was around, are you in the game? Are you in the game of AI adoption versus today, where you are definitely in the game? It's all about what it had to promise or what it still has to promise versus how much have we achieved out of it. And I think it's, I would agree with all of you on this front saying that it's a journey. It's a journey. What I really liked about today's discussion is that, we do have a roadmap in mind. We absolutely have clear idea as to where we want to go and what steps we are taking. And we are actually evaluating, at a regular interval at each milestone, if we are on the right path or not. But appears to be that we are definitely on the right path. I would like to thank you, each one of you, for your inputs and your time, invested in this session today to make it a real learning experience. I do sincerely hope that all the audience who have been watching this, session live, they have really gained from the vast experience of each one of you. Thank you so much once again on behalf of HR Success Talk, Talent on Lease, Amrita Devi Foundation, Cognify, and Incredible Place. It has been wonderful meeting you. I'm connecting with you on LinkedIn because I'm keen to learn from your journey and stay updated on how this whole thing is going to evolve. So thank you so much once again for your participation today. It made really a lot of difference. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Over to you, Vidushi. Thank you.